tried to run a 5K and sucked at it. It's great. Now you can see yourself.
Oh, yeah. That looks handsome right there.
I'll be nice and cut this part out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or I'll just post it later. It's fine.
That's fine.
All right. This is Jackie with Inthekeyofchange.com. I'm with the members of Chiodos.
Hey, yo, I'm Brad.
And I'm Derek.
And we're here at a very sweaty Vans Warped Tour. Brad, I've talked to you before a couple times in different incarnations of your band. You are back. Or
Back with that OG lineup.
yeah, so for the most, yes, there you go. A little bit of a twist. What can fans expect from Chiodos 3.0 or 2.5?
I'd say like 4.1. I don't know. No, we're in the middle of writing for a new record, and we're gonna go record that at the end of September. And yeah, we're ready to do that because right now we're just playing songs that are like 8 years old and stuff. So, but it's fun, you know. Like Warped Tour was a good first tour back for us, you know, just to reconnect with like a lot of the people that have been coming out and supporting us for a long time, and to get back in the groove of things. So once this is over, we're gonna go record a new record.
So yeah, music has been pretty old. How are fans sort of receiving music that they know and love? How do you feel that their reaction is?
I think it's kind of unique because, I mean, now you get a lot of people saying, like, oh, I've been following you since, like, '06 or '07, and now I'm 21 or I'm 22, and they still like it. So I think the reaction's still there. They have this kind of, I don't know, it's like something they grew up with. It's kind of like, for me, listening to an old band that I really like, for example, maybe like Alkaline Trio or something, like one of their first records, and really liking that, and it doesn't really disappear. So I think the reaction's been awesome. So,
How would you describe sort of the onstage atmosphere of you guys right now?
I think it's great. You can see like a lot of the camaraderie that we have right now, and like and just feeding off the crowd's energy every day. All the crowds have been awesome on this tour, and you can definitely like tell that we're enjoying ourselves on this tour. It's good.
I believe I actually saw Chiodos play in Dallas at South by So What this past time.
Yeah.
So this isn't really your first time touring around as a band again.
Kind of. I mean, we did like a lot of like reunion weekends and things like that, but this is like our first like gun-ho 2-month tour. So I mean, it's different. You know, we got to get back in the groove of things of like where we're used to living with 6 other people 24 hours a day, or 9 other people on this tour. And I mean, it's not challenging, but it's something you have to adjust to.
it's been a unique experience for me personally because this is the first tour I've done since 2008. It's like almost 4 years. So it's really, the first week or two was kind of a struggle to be in shape. And like, oh gosh, so many shows in a row, I'm so tired. But yeah, like Brad said, we're just getting to the groove of it again, so.
So have you been starting writing the new album yet?
Yeah, we have a lot written, you know, and we'll keep writing until it's time to go into the studio. As an artist, you're never done with your product until someone tells you are.
Until someone else says so.
Yeah.
What are some things that have influenced pieces on the new album?
I don't know. We've taken a lot of different approaches with writing this album than we have in the past. Like, especially like we have a new guitar player that's been writing it with us, and a lot of the elements that he brings are different than what we're used to. And I think each person's kind of like stepped up in their own way and brought their ideas to the table and like led different songs, and you can kind of see that from song to song, which is cool. When in like the past we would all like try to do like everything from scratch to together almost, and but you can still see like everyone's input on each song, which is cool.
I think it's the most prepared we've been to. I think time was on our side, opposed to in the past, you know. With our first album, they say, you know, your whole life to write it. And then when you do your second album, you're in this touring cycle of touring a lot, and you're kind of pressured to write it. And this time now, it's again, we have as much time as we possibly want. We're the most prepared we've ever been. We used to go in the studio with like 3 or 4 songs. We have like 20-something songs. So now we can actually pick and choose and kind of develop and evolve those pieces into something bigger and better. So that's the plan, at least.
Do you feel that the songs are more personal or more universal in their message?
That varies song to song, just like it has with a lot of our old records. You know, sometimes they tell a story. Sometimes you just need to get something off your chest that a lot of people can relate to. And we've never really had a continuing theme throughout a single record. So I think that's going to be the way that it remains.
And so without a new album in some years, how do you grab new fans' attention and kind of leave that impression of, all right, I need to make sure that I get their new album when it comes out? How do you leave that lasting impression at Warped with so many bands?
I think just being around for so long and doing this for so long, we have a different personality than a lot of these up-and-coming bands, which is great for them, you know, but I think that a lot of it would be the stage show, and a lot of people that come to Warped Tour now that know these newer bands, we didn't tour with these bands because they're newer in this kind of music scene. And I think the cool thing about that is basically that a lot of these new kids have never seen us before and see that we're very high energy. And I think a lot of the guys, especially in the front, I mean, playing drums, you know, no one really focuses on that much, but when you watch the front guys, they're very creative in how they move and interact with the fans. I've seen a lot of bands on this tour, and it's just different, you know. I definitely think we stand out in that kind of sense. So I think that makes new kids drawn into us or whatever, even though we've been around forever and they just don't know. So
Like a lot of our fans take pride in the fact that they've been following us for so long, and then new fans can see that and make them want to get involved as well.
Some people might say that the sort of hardcore scene or post-hardcore scene is very oversaturated. What sort of new aspects or new sort of nuances do you guys want to bring to the table this time around?
We're just going to keep doing what we've been doing for years, and I think it's definitely different than a lot of what the new hardcore is doing. And you know, there's so many of the bands using the same producers and the same triggers and samples for everything, and we're really just a band that likes to try to get the most organic sound as possible and try things outside of the box instead of regurgitating things that have already been done.
I think what's unique for our band as well is a lot of us come from a very musical background, whether it be choir or playing in marching bands or anything like that, and the history, obviously, of being around for so long. I think what makes us the most unique out of all the saturation or all these bands is that we actually have a keyboard player that plays keyboard. So I think that makes it very unique, you know. And a lot of, like Brad said, there's a lot of samples and a lot of overdubbing and people doing the same kind of things. And like you said, we're not going to do that. So we're just going to stick to what we know. And that's being real musicians and playing real music. So
You play real keyboards. That's so awesome.
I know, you don't see much of that these days. Well, you did, when we first came out, all of a sudden there was this spurt of bands that were doing what we were doing, and then all of a sudden those keyboard players aren't playing keyboard anymore. Now they're doing other things in bands, you know, which is cool. I mean, I still respect that, but it feels like the keyboard's becoming a lost novelty.
the only band I can think of now that I wouldn't even really consider them in the same genre, but Foxy Shazam is the only band that the guy plays the keyboard, you know, so.
Well, that's good. So you're headed into the studio, you said September?
Yeah, it should be the end of September.
So what are you going to do till then, between Warped Tour and now?
Obviously relax for a minute, but me personally, I'm going to keep writing and trying to come up with more ideas that I feel could make our songs that we have so far well balanced and make it more of a complete thought. And but I'm sure everyone's going to be doing the same when they go back home, you know.
And playing some more real keyboard.
Yeah.
Playing some more real keyboard.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I'll probably just relax with friends and family. And then, like Brad said, I mean, we have so many songs to go over and overview as well because we were writing so quickly and basically recording down these ideas as we went. For instance, Brad would come in the studio and be like, hey, man, I wrote this song on the keyboard, put a drum part to it or something. So we start playing it, then we just record it that day. You know, so there's a lot of stuff we can analyze and change it different to make it, like you said, a more complete thought. So.
Okay. So stay tuned for more from Chiodos. Catch them on the Vans Warped Tour. This is Jackie with Inthekeyofchange.com.